Hi.
Hi. I need to stop singing at the intros. I'm Shaban.
Russia.
You may subscribe to both of our channels. If you don't, then kindly subscribe now. I'm the brains of the operation, and Russia can sometimes try and talk about football. I'm the brains and the buttes. Interesting weekend in the WSL, eh?
Action-packed, if I do say so myself.
Do you think?
Galore.
Do you think?
I thought it was such a good weekend.
It was unreal.
Did you not agree?
No, I do, but you're hard to impress.
Yeah.
So I do wonder what your thoughts are.
I think because we've ended on a high this week, Cass, that's why I'm super excited.
Yeah.
But can't lie, yesterday's game, that was unreal. What a game that was to be at.
I feel we should start yesterday. Let's review Manchester United at the Emirates Arsenal at the Emirates, hosting Manchester United. Going into this game, did the vlog yesterday, thought, fair enough to Manchester United, I'll rate them highly, some brilliant players. But I didn't know if they would just have that edge, enough to go up against Arsenal, considering we saw what happened a couple of weeks ago against Chelsea.
Well, we spoke about this before, and we've said that they're definitely on the right track to where they want to get. It's a journey, it's a process. But this is a big turning point in their season now.
It has to be.
Yeah, because you look at that Chelsea game, and they had a good half, they played well, and then it just all fell apart.
Yeah.
But it's you have to learn from that. They go 1-0 up at the Emirates, and then they fall behind, 2-1 down, but then they managed to equalise, and then they managed to get a winner right at the end, and I thought they were outstanding.
Yeah.
They died the death a wee bit when it went 2-1 Arsenal, thought they got a bit flat, but they seen it through. Do you know what I mean? They seen it through. They didn't fall apart. Arsenal didn't get a third goal, and they done what they had to do. They stayed in the game. They stayed in the game, Cass, and then they went and finished the game.
They stayed in the game so well, but for me it's Alessia Russo and the fashion that she steps up.
What, like her hair?
She's just a pure machine.
Aye, I think obviously she can score goals, and what were Arsenal doing though?
I know.
Why was she
how many players were
in the box? I don't know what happened. Even when you look at Millie Turner's goal, it was actually clever from her because she just hangs out at the edge. Nobody deals with her, and she just floats in, gets in between two Arsenal players and bullets one in. Yeah. But you can't leave the likes of Russo and stuff unmarked in the box. Again, maybe she did have, I don't know if Caitlin Ford was near her, but you've got to be aggressive with her because she's so powerful and so strong. You've got to do the most to stop her, make it as difficult as you can. I think she's not giant. She's not like a Gilney or anything like that. But she's got a good physique, strong, broad shoulders. I think.
Yeah.
But she's very good at hold up plays good, link up plays good, and then she got a reward at the end.
Yeah. No, I think she's wicked.
You still in love with her?
Yeah, a wee bit. I think I am. I just really like her. I just think we could be friends or something. She might say no, but when she scored, I had done my vlog yesterday. I was so happy for her, but then
I'm not allowed to celebrate this.
No, I shouldn't be happy about this, which I'm not.
Right. What about Arsenal? What was saying about that?
This is a problem. Beth Mead went off injured. I've seen.
It's been doing nothing.
Sorry. Beth Mead went off injured, and I've been watching back this replay.
Yeah, I've seen it online. Yeah.
And her knee proper jutters, is that a word? Jutters.
Shift or something. You can see it kind of. Yeah.
And it didn't look good.
Yeah.
She was also crying, so the footage of her upset. This is not good for Arsenal. It's not good for Beth because if it's a bad injury, who's to say how long she's going to be out for? So for Arsenal's season, coming into this crucial stage, heading towards the Christmas break, I'm you've got Beth out, we don't know when Sousa and Leah Williamson are back, and you're missing your engine in the midfield, maybe arguably the best player in the midfield in the world, Kim Little. That's 4 worldies.
Stars, key players.
And, from your spine, so I do look and go, Arsenal are going to, well, you would expect them to struggle now. They were doing actually okay. But this is the test. They've still got Chelsea. They've still got City, haven't they?
If Arsenal had got through yesterday with 3 points, they would have been delighted because of everything's going against them. Obviously, it doesn't look great for Beth. I was honestly, because we were up high, and I seen her go down, and I kind of was like, oh, come on, Beth, come on, let's go. and I didn't realise the severity of the injury at the time, but yeah, it doesn't look great. But touch wood that she's okay. But Arsenal, injury problems galore. It's going to be tough for them. I need to see their next games. Obviously, the Champions League coming up again, which is another game. They'll be hoping to God to get through it without any more people dropping.
Can I ask a question just back to last night? Did you think Arsenal were good?
No, they were terrible. That's probably the worst Arsenal performance I've seen in a while. First half, United absolutely dominated them. I don't want to be disrespectful to like people that are playing, but you're taking big players out that are injured, and I don't think they've really filled those gaps. I get Arsenal are a strong team and they'll normally dominate the ball, so against, if we want to say the lesser teams, they're going to be okay, but when you're playing better teams, well, they get found out, and it kind of looks like that last night. I've not seen, except from the Barcelona game at the Emirates in the Champions League last season, I've not actually seen really, Man City did too, actually dominate the ball once against Arsenal, but I was like just watching it going, this is all United. And I know possession doesn't win games, we know that, but it's kind of the Arsenal way, and it just wasn't happening for them. But like I said, when they went 2-1 up, I thought, they've played honking, but now they're just going to go and win the game. Didn't happen. Do
you know, it's funny because I feel going into the game last night, you know, so many tickets sold to the Emirates, I think it was up like 32,000.
How many was there? Was it 40?
No, I think he said 26 or 36. There was definitely 6.
I thought it was near 40. I don't know.
No, Stamford Bridge
right
was 40,000, I'm sure, but that looked like there was less of a turnout on a day. And similar to last night at the Emirates, but still great occasion, great atmosphere, whatever like that. But I feel United went in wanting it more, and Arsenal went in expecting it more.
I think that's a good analysis. For me, Arsenal looked a little bit complacent. If that's if we could say that, and United were hungry. They had a point to prove. So, but now United have to crack on. They can't slip up next week or whatever like that. Like they've got to crack on now.
They've already faced Chelsea. Now they've beaten Arsenal. They've still got City. You never know, but it could be an interesting little Champions League spot for United this time round. Let's move on to today's game at Stamford Bridge. Wonderful stuff for Chelsea. Sam Kerr doing bits, but Lauren James playing in the match. Emma Hayes back in the dugout as well. So much to focus on here. Chelsea have had their upset this season. It's long gone. They're over it.
I watched the first half of that game, and I was disappointed with Spurs. It was just too easy for Chelsea, but Chelsea.
It's like Spurs even against Arsenal at the Emirates, remember in the North London derby, and then Stamford Bridge there. I'm like, do they not rise to the occasion? Do they think we're not good enough, so they don't?
I think credit to Rhian Skinner for how far she's taken Spurs in a short period of time, and I think maybe they're wanting to be a wee bit more expansive. You know, get at teams a bit more, but it's actually leaving them very open. I don't know if they need to maybe take it back a little and be a wee bit more compact, be harder to beat, to win games and get back to doing the basics well. I think that's what it should be their main focus now. And then once they've nailed that down, then try and develop their game a bit more. Obviously they've brought in players like Drew Spence, and she's probably great for them in midfield, so much experience. But I was a wee bit disappointed with them, but Chelsea they put on a show in front of the fans. Emma Hayes is back, job done. Didn't see the second half, but I seen it finish 3-0, so all the goals were in the first half. Chelsea, obviously, watching the game last night, they thought we were getting 3 points on this table, and job done.
Now they're top of the league. It happens like that.
Top of the league,
down on the Arsenal.
And the only.
But at Chelsea, Arsenal have a game in hand though, no?
I think they do they?
I think Chelsea's played one more than everyone.
Right.
I think they're top, but I do think, and goal difference wise, I'm sure Arsenal and United are higher than Chelsea. That might have changed after today.
Right.
Should really be telling you this, shouldn't I? Let's have a look at the table.
We've crashed here.
We're also going to focus on Aston Villa in a sec as well. Yes, here we go, the table. Chelsea have played 8, Arsenal, United, and everyone below have played 7. West Ham have played 8, and Leicester have played 8. So Chelsea are top on 21 points, Arsenal 18 points, Manchester United 18 points, both have a game in hand. Arsenal are top on goal difference. So, you know, it is, I'd say it's still Arsenal's. you would say it's still Arsenal's, but now they're hit. They've got it's an injury crisis. This is a
top
crisis.
Three, there's not much in it. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it in these top three right now. But the second half of the season will be huge, massive, and that gives Arsenal a bit of time to get your likes of Leah Williamson back. Saying she was straight line running on the pitch.
She was running, wasn't she? Yeah. She was there last night doing the whole huddle at the end and stuff.
She'll always be there. Do you know what I mean? Like she's always going to be in and about it still. But yeah, hopefully that gives them a bit of time to get her back.
Because defensively,
they're not the same. Yeah,
they're not the same without Leah Williamson.
No,
especially.
And she's quality. She's a Rolls Royce.
I know, I know, and that's no disrespect to Arsenal's defence.
No.
But there are players who are just that. Like they're a level above. Let's talk about your team. Happy days. In fact, let's save that for last. Let's go Brighton Liverpool.
Right, didn't see any of this game.
So I think the Liverpool go 1-up, and then Brighton were 3-1 up, and then Liverpool scored 2 goals.
I was looking obviously at the scores, and it was 3-1, and then with the text,
3-all,
and I had to check the scores to make sure it was right. 92nd equaliser by Furness. Yeah, I'm sure it was probably a header. Was it a header?
The big Northern Irish princess. But fair play, that's a good game.
It's great for them. Great never say die mentality for Liverpool.
Brighton I'm curious about, because it always feels like now they've made instant progress since Hope Hill's left, and you don't want to see it like that, but that's all I can see.
Sometimes this is what happens when a manager leaves and someone new comes in. It just freshens things up. It gives people
It's the assistant manager, Amy Merrick, who's in interim just now. So I suppose she gets it. She understands that she's there. She's thereabouts. It's little tweaks maybe, or maybe that shows as to what was going on when Hope was in charge. Maybe it can say something about that. Maybe players weren't responding to her. Maybe she lost the dressing room. Yeah, I don't know exactly, but like we see it week in, week out. When a manager leaves, the teams normally go on to win their next game or whatever. It just seems to be, for whatever reason, everyone kind of goes on like this change, and you get a wee bit of a lift, and you have to go out and prove something. But then that can normally sort of phase out after a while. But yeah, I think maybe is it safe to say Brighton have switched off. They thought we're in cruise control here, and they've sort of switched off. And Liverpool have obviously, they're still a threat. Liverpool have got goals in them. We know that already. So no, that's a brilliant point for each. Wasn't going to just mention Man City at all really in this, just because they're still in fourth. They're trucking along nicely. But Bunny Shaw, she's had 8 goals and how many assists so far this season?
Don't know how many assists are.
It's something bonkers. It's bonkers. And I actually thought today's result with Aston Villa would show Rachel Daly now to be favourite for the Golden Boot, but actually it is Bunny Shaw for Manchester City. But let's go to Aston Villa. Thoughts on that, police driver?
Well, I must confess I missed the first 20 minutes because I was at the shops.
What kind of fan are you? What kind of villain are you?
Traffic was hot out there. There's roadworks everywhere in St Albans. It's actually doing my nutting. Anyway, got in and it was 1-0 to Reading, and I was like, oh, for God's sake, they scored in the 7th minute from a set piece, so that's obviously not happy about that. You don't like to concede goals from set plays. And then Rach goes and gets 2 goals, and we're going in 2-1 at half time. She's so good in there. Like, she is so good in there.
Yeah, she's her celebration. Her leap is so
she gets so high. Yeah, she's so powerful. But she's like strong legs, strong calves, strong quads. I'm not like creeping on her in the changing room or anything like that.
You're creeping on her. Rachel, if you're watching this, steer clear of this man.
Get the restraining order out. But
what did you say
you
were talking
there? I was talking the other day about her in the England team, obviously, and she was up front. But I was saying for her goal, it wasn't an easy chance. It was a great ball in from Chloe Kelly, great ball in. But I don't think there was many players on the pitch who would have scored that goal.
I think you're right. Even the way she twists her body.
And then look at our 2 headers today. You okay, hon? Look at our goals today. Like, she makes them hers. She goes and attacks the ball. There's not many female players that can do that these days. Last one I know was shout out to Sue Latham. She can attack the ball.
Hi Sue.
If you're ever watching this. But Rach Daly, she's such a threat in the air. Russo too. Russo's great in the air. But yeah, Rach is
Sam Kerr's also quite good in there.
So Sam Kerr, right. So we've got 4 players. That's not a lot of people. Not a lot. But Rach is honestly, she's going to get more and more goals. I'm convinced. Yeah, convinced.
An unbelievable win, to be fair, because Reading can always be that bit of a banana skin, can't they? But Aston Villa couldn't afford to.
Yeah, and the second half they got their goalkeeper get sent off, came out. booted Kirsty Hansen in the air, and she got a straight red. So that was, I think that was the end of the game for them, and then we get a penalty even after that. That's right, we got a penalty after that, and it goes 3-1, job done. But watching the second half, we honestly dominated the ball, dominated possession. We showed a bit more maturity in our play. We didn't just keep going forward every time. We were coming out, recycling possession, we were coming out, going out the other side. There was a lot of good movement from everyone. The midfielders were getting on the ball, there were stretch runs. It was good to see. And then even by the end of the game, our centre halves were so high up, and we just had Reading penned in their own half, obviously down to 10 men, but massive 3 points.
Wow.
Buzzing, yeah.
So what's your thoughts in terms of the table? What's going to go on? Where do Villa see themselves? You're 5th now?
I think we're sitting 5th right now, and in our heads we'd say we definitely want to
Champions League.
minimum finish 6th. That's minimum. Like we're not accepting, like, that's worst case scenario. We want to finish 6th, but in camp we know we want to crack on and finish even higher up the table if possible. Things are going well, and we've also had our sort of shaky moments too. I think it's safe to say we've dropped a few points along the way. It's that 3 games we've been beat. And look, just a long way to go, massive games ahead. We've got, before the break, we've got United and Arsenal, and then there's a few Conti Cup games in there, so it's going to be massive for us. We're going to need to look at these fixtures and see what we can come away with. So, exciting.
If you were to stick a fiver on it now, who wins the league?
Chelsea.
I really hoped it to be Arsenal's year. For me, I still see it as Arsenal, with the hope that Suzanne Williamson are back any minute now.
But you look, Chelsea have been very fortunate right now. They've not had their sort of
trip-ups.
Bad luck.
Well, they have with the opening game, but it's long.
Seasons are long and injuries can happen.
Back now.
But what would it be interesting to say is Emma Hayes doing well with this, because she's so focused in on menstrual cycle and periodisation for players. Is that why they don't have as many injuries?
Yeah.
Could be. Don't know.
Well, it's amazing because they even say now, like we've done a good video on this before, about the effect that your period would have on your body when you're working out, kind of thing, and you are more prone to injuries because of when you're on your period.
Yeah, you can be.
Yeah. So you imagine the build up and even the mentality side of things. You know, the week before when you're due on, I'm a pure cow. You know, I wouldn't be able to be the best version of me.
Yeah.
And you wonder if that would affect some players as well. So credit to Emma Hayes and her. I mean, you know, she's just had her hysterectomy. She's got such a awareness and pushes the awareness of women's health.
Yeah.
And I rate that big time, and I think every single team in the WSL, the Championship, in fact everyone's women's team from young girls moving in, start focusing on that now, because the injury risk at the moment is through the roof. I mean, I know you pointed out as well, Arsenal's injured players were all, well, mostly from the Euros, weren't they? Sousa was at the what's it, Copa America, is it? Copa. You know, so you can also see that they've played more football at a more intense level, more than most. But you also wonder then if their bodies are getting that time in the treatment that it can be. Yeah,
enough recovery time. And then obviously we're looking now, and there's a Nations League is going to start soon for the women too, and then there's the World Cup. So again, female players are going to be exposed to even more games. So interesting to see how we adapt. But like that, we've said before, ACL stuff, we need someone focusing on that point. That's so important. There's just so many in the game right now, and hopefully
then there can be a
anterior cruciate ligament,
and it's in all parts of your body. Where is it?
In your knee. Yeah, absolutely. Melon cast. Aye.
Interior cruciate ligament. I just thought it was like an interior cruciate of your ligaments. There's lots of ligaments in your body, isn't there?
Your ACL. Yeah.
It doesn't.
Why do you think we always say?
Well, why does it not say knee in there?
Because it's a knee injury. It's in the knee.
Learning, eh?
There's your meniscus and another thing.
Cassim, I can't spell that.
All that stuff.
Can't say that.
Oh, honestly, I can't even just ask, is your ACL in your armpit?
No, I said, where is it?
It's in there. It's there.
Has any player ever pulled a muscle up here and been out for a while?
I'd probably keeper and stuff like that.
True.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've had a long week. I've been up so early this week, so early. That's why I'm on the rosé now. Please like, please subscribe. And we'll be coming back with updates across the week, I'm sure, because it's Champions League week ahead.
Last game, sorry, we just missed out. 1-0 victory to West Ham. They'll be happy.
Yeah, that's big. By the way, West Ham are to be watched.
They're getting a few points on the table, you know, but they've got a few experienced players.
Easy
so
for you to say, you can give it meniscus and all the rest of it, but you can't friggin' count to 10.
Well,
okay, well, have a good week. We'll see you soon. Please subscribe to Rush's channel now, and please subscribe to my channel now. Same content,
Up the
different
Villa
platforms. Up the Villa, and have a nice Sunday.
God bless troops.